I'm Jayar, clocked in. A very special Thursday afternoon chat today. They've been together for over 20 years. Legends in the Christian music format. My guest, Mac Powell, lead singer of Third Day. My chat today is with the legendary Mr. Mac Powell. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm great. Legendary. I appreciate that. That was in my own mind.
That was free. Mac, let me roll into these 5 envelopes here really quickly. Envelope 1, knowing that being offered the position of chaplain for Alabama's football team or, say, for the Falcons would be a crazy cool job. But is there one dream job out there, Mac, besides Third Day lead singer, that would have you leave the band?
I would probably take your job, Jayar. I can have your job. Be on the radio every day, talk to wonderful listeners, and share some good music and a good message with everybody. I might lead to become a DJ. I want your job, JR.
Not any kind of an assistant with Alabama?
I would just be too nervous. Okay. I would be too nervous to be around that. I just love being a fan. I was talking to another guy the other day. A friend of mine's a DJ for a country station in Atlanta, and he was tweeting about, being at this cool Braves luncheon, and he gets to meet all these Braves players. I'm like, man, how cool is it for, I know your job is a lot harder than people think as a DJ, but you do get to do some pretty cool things.
What can I say? You know who you have become? You've become the Matthew McConaughey for Alabama. You know how he is always all about Texas football.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little bit better looking than him, but I see what you're saying.
And you've got an 8-pack instead of a 6-pack, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Envelope 2 here, Mac. Now, you took one of last year's most popular American Idol finalists out on the road with you in Colton Dixon, but you are also friends with possibly the most successful male to ever come out of American Idol, and that's Chris Daughtry. Can you kind of just explain your relationship with him, and is there a chance you'd ever record or tour with Daughtry?
It's very possible. He sang on a song called Slow Down, which was on the Revelation records. So if you listen to that album, you'll get a little glimpse of Chris Daughtry singing background with us. JR, I'm giving you information that no one knows about. You're getting the inside scoop.
Thank you.
We almost, he's out on the road with Three Doors Down right now, or was on the road with him. We almost went on that tour, and we just couldn't make it work scheduling-wise, and it would have been amazing to do that. So we've definitely talked about touring together. Would love to do it somewhere down the road, hopefully.
Envelope 3, I know it's been over 20 years. You're still wearing that number 20 arm badge on your shows, right? They say we've been around 20 years. Now, mostly ups, but I'm sure there's been a couple of downs. Mac, have you and your wife ever had that around-the-table moment where she's saying, you have been on the road most of our lives, it's time to stop? Has that ever come to that place? Because I know being on the road, especially for that many years, can be tough. Have you and your wife ever had those conversations years ago?
Yeah, I guess you talk about it, but you talk about it even from day one. Ever since when we got married, which this July will be 17 years, and shout out to my beautiful wife, Amy. I love you, babe. We got married. I went on my honeymoon and then came back, and I was gone for 3 months straight. And I saw her maybe 5 days within 3 months right after we got married. Wow. So even from that point, it was like, okay, let's talk about this. Is this road thing something we want to do? But so you talk about it, all the time. But also we know this is kind of God's calling, and it's not only my calling, but it's just, it's my job. So you have those conversations, you think about it, but overall we love being in this position that we're at, and very, very grateful to all the Third Day fans for the support they've given us for over 20 years now. And I don't know, I still love doing it after all these years.
Off the Facebook wall, this is from Wendy. She wants to know the oddest place you've ever been recognized, Mac.
Oh man, I've never ever been asked that. It's funny. There's nothing is really coming into mind, except I know there are times when we're overseas, when you just assume that, listen, nobody around here knows who I am, unless you're at the show.
Yeah.
And there have been times, when you're in the middle of somewhere, Brazil or South Africa or Australia, and you're, I don't know, at a restaurant or something, and somebody walks up and says, "Are you in Third Day?" And it's like, how do you know who Third Day is? So I know that's not really odd, but it's surprising, even after all these years, whenever that happens.
Yeah, I still remember, it might have been a Jars of Clay conversation, but one of the guys said that at a pawn shop in the middle of Africa, a guy that ran a giraffe sanctuary walked up and said that their first album was the best they've ever done.
And then they punched him in the face.
Right. Yeah, right. All right, this is off the Facebook wall. Rick says, what is your favorite pre-concert meal, Mac, if you could, before a show to get ready to...
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say my favorite, but I have this thing where, Jayar, once again, you get information out of me that no other person can.
I'm grateful.
I don't really... I can't burp. I don't burp.
Yeah.
So for me, I can't really eat anything. I usually have like a 2-hour window. Because when you go on stage when I go on stage after I eat, it's like when I can't burp, it's like all that's just kind of stuck in my body and I can't sing. So I have to I try my best not to eat. So usually I don't even have dinner. I usually eat after the show. But so I guess my pre-meal is usually just a handful of chips, potato chips, or, some trail mix or something like that.
Okay. There you go. I take care of my Third Date fans. Information that you can only get right here. Last one. I don't know why, this is off the Facebook wall as well, Jeremy. I don't know why he's asking this, if there's a deeper meaning behind this, but the question is, do you do a good Johnny Cash impression, or have you ever been told you do an impression well?
No, I wish that I did a good Johnny Cash. I think I'm like all those people out there that think they do a good Mac Powell impression. They sound nothing like me. I'm probably the same way with Johnny Cash. Hello, I'm Johnny Cash. I don't sound anything like him.
Yeah.
But I wish that I did, and I love singing his songs. So I have to work on that.
All right, so that wasn't coming from a place where he knew something I didn't know. He was just hoping.
I wish that I like to for my kids, when I'm reading a book to them or something, every once in a while I'll try to do a voice. If it's a VeggieTales book or whatever, I try to do my Larry the Cucumber. But it never, in my mind, I sound just like him, but I'm sure I don't.
To this day, they still don't know what you're doing.
The Q 90.1.